Trinity A-Frame dreams, lake views, endless schemes, modern comforts close by, luxury in the sky.
How's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself?
Awesome. I can't wait to talk about the A-Frame. It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Show me, tell me how did it start?
So the A-Frame was just like this big thing that I've always wanted. There was this film when I was 19, it was called Fear, and that's what actually sparked me wanting to have a house kind of in a forest, by a lake, that sort of thing. I always envisioned an A-Frame.
Yeah.
So when I was looking around for a house, the market was just insane. Every offer was being turned down. You know, people were bidding like $10,000, $100,000 over market. And what I found was, hey, there could be more than one. And I found Trinity. And so ever since then, it's been this thing in my heart where I really wanted to renovate and try something with an A-frame.
Yeah.
And
we got to talk about Trinity later, but that's a story in itself, everyone. That's a doozy.
Yeah.
But we'll get to Trinity, but let's pump out, like, how long did it take to get this one just up and running?
Yeah. So it was about a year's journey. It actually found me, which is always interesting when a house finds you, you know it's the right thing.
Yeah.
And so a real estate agent reached out to me and said, there's a baby Trinity out there. Do you want to take a look at it? And I said, why not?
Yeah.
And
I remember you were telling me this too.
yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
So he reached out and said, this one looks like it can be a part of your Trinity. And so I came up to see it. And actually, we didn't come to see it. We saw it all in pictures.
Right.
And it was the gentleman who owned it. He started to renovate it and couldn't finish it.
It looks so great on pictures, though.
Yes,
I
it
liked
did.
it. I liked it on pictures. Oh, covered myself, but I liked it on pictures. But I was like, let's see this place in person.
Yes. Well, I ended up getting sick. So there's always an obstacle, right? So I got sick and I couldn't come up here. And by the time we actually saw it in person, my heart just sank. So what looks great in pictures doesn't always translate in real life. So the finishes were just a nightmare. Lots of hidden issues.
Yes.
One of the reasons why it took so long, but you know, by the grace of God, with friends, family, and a few people who just kind of popped into our lives, a great contractor, then it all kind of came together. But we'll talk a little bit more about the journey, I'm sure.
Well, you'll see the pictures. We're just going to show you as we talk about it, the before and how it looked, and the after.
Yeah.
So the journey is great. Okay, so tell me, which is your favorite room?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I always hate that question because I like everything about this house.
I love everything too.
But I think the room we're sitting in, because it's a great room, so not only do you get to sit in the kitchen, you have a view of the forest, you have a view of the lake. If you're sitting right here at the bar, you have this gorgeous view behind you. Today's a beautiful day and the lake is just popping through. But I think
and it snowed yesterday, so we're lucky. We're lucky today. We could be out and had our coffee at Mountain Coffee Company, which is great.
Yes. So one of the things that I love about this is that you have this gorgeous forest behind you. So the first thing you see when you wake up in the morning is forest. But what's even better is the room upstairs. The room upstairs is what we call the loft. And that has a king-size bed in it. There's a bathroom and there's a desk area. So when I'm staying here, I work up there. But you wake up and what you see first thing is forest. And that gives you that whole mountain vibe that most people want when they want to retreat and they want to get away. And
it's so beautiful when you wake up and you're just like, wow, look at the beauty, look at the backdrop. The backdrop is insane.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's beautiful. Like during the winter, during the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, the winter was insane. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's just so nice when you wake up.
Yes.
What's your favorite piece in the room? And tell me all about it. What you like the best?
In the loft, one of my favorite pieces is a nook that we created with this really cool butterfly chair that I found at one of my favorite stores, HD Buttercup. And it's a leather one, so it's ginormous. It's not your flimsy kind. It's really sturdy leather butterfly chair. And just set up a little area with blankets so you can read there, you can check messages, or you can just sit and take in the serenity of the lake and the forest. It's the most amazing spot, and it's the little secret spot.
Yeah, totally. And so what got you to the point where like, okay, I want it to look a certain way? Where did you get the ideas from, your aesthetics?
Yeah.
What was your prime motivator in making this place the way it is right now?
Well, two things. I wanted it to be completely different than Trinity, right? So you should still know it's the same owner, it's the same designer. And so I sought to do more
It
of
looks like you.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
I sought to do more of a masculine sort of feel with this home. So I anchored in a lot
It's
of black.
moody.
Very moody. Yes,
Yeah,
very moody.
yeah.
I anchored it in black. And I wanted to do an accent color. So originally when I was thinking about Trinity, we had thought about the burnt orange, and I felt everybody's doing that. But I always have my twist on things. So the accent colors are done in a burnt orange, and a little bit of burgundy is actually an underlining color here. And I always believe in putting one thing that's red in any room because it makes it pop. So you'll find little accents of red in the house as well.
We love a pop of color.
Yes.
Tell me something about your most favorite piece of furniture that you found that you were like, oh my gosh, I have to have this.
There's so many.
I know.
There's so many. But
I have
think-
a favorite.
Yeah. Well, can I say two? Let me say
you
two.
can say two.
Okay. So
Give me two.
the first one inside is a beautiful lounge chair from HD Buttercup.
Love it.
Again, it's another secret spot in the house where you can get cozy. You can watch a movie if you want to on an iPad. You could read a book, or you could just really look out at the forest and the lake.
Have a coffee.
Yes, and I'm a tea drinker, so that's my secret tea spot.
I love my daily devotionals, okay?
Yes.
Like, I love to just sit there with my Bible and read and have my coffee and just be like early in the morning, and it's quiet and it's just cozy and moody. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Must be in that spot when you come.
Yes. Now, my second favorite piece of furniture, if we're talking about furniture, is a curved outdoor sofa from HD Buttercup. And so everyone kept saying, you're gonna put this beautiful couch outside because it's really gorgeous. And we'll show you some images of that. But
What floor is it on?
it's on this main floor. It's actually right behind us.
Yeah.
But it's a curved, low profile because we don't want anything to take away from the view. That's the best part of this house, is that you have such an amazing view with all windows, right? So if you're doing more of a modern, organic style, you want as much natural light. But if I'm using black, right, because I want more of a moody vibe,
Right.
the couch is black, but it's anchored in some wood legs.
Ugh.
It's just the best piece. And it's
I
super
love it.
comfortable.
I love
as
sitting
well.
out there. I love hanging out. I love having drinks with friends and just chilling. And
Fire pit.
Oh, the fire pit, just a wonderful
Yeah.
spot. I feel kind of like enclosed a little bit by all the trees, and there's a privacy to it.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
It's tranquil. And that's the
Very.
whole idea. I wanted a space where people can come. Now, this house is a little bit smaller than Trinity, the Prow house. The A-Frame is just a little over, close to 2,100 square feet, 3 floors, but every single floor has a tranquil deck outside or a view, both of the forest and the lake. And it's what really drove me to say, this is the place, despite all of the issues that we experienced in renovation. If I were, to be asked if I'd do it again, I would absolutely do it again.
Well, it's, a labor of love, right?
Yes, and our guests love it.
Oh.
They're actually big fans of this property. They find it to be comfortable, the views. I've heard people even say, oh my gosh, it looks like a model home. And that was the intention. We wanted to bring luxury at a different price point for people,
Right.
but also have the same beauty of the forest and the lake, and just have that tranquil, sort of getaway.
Okay, tell me about the game room. Love the game room.
I know you love the game room. So every house has to have a game room. I mean, imagine there's people coming here with families, friends,
Yes.
sort of thing. We do some retreats here. So the game room has an 82-inch television in it because we got to go big, right?
It's huge, everyone.
Yes,
Huge.
and it's beautiful. It's actually better than in my primary house.
Yes, you're going to want to take it home, for sure.
Yes. And so I always think that every game room has to have a pool table.
Yes.
But this pool table is special. Most are green top or blue top. I looked high and low, and I finally found one that was a black top. Now, it can be a logistical nightmare because you have to constantly clean it, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So it's a black pool table, and I think every game room should have a bar. And so we made like a beautiful credenza and then set up.
Tell me about the credenza.
The credenza kind of is the theme of like that whole modern organic. So it's black and it has this beautiful Generette sort of style because I'm obsessed with Generette chairs. And so it has not only storage in it, so we keep games in there, we keep extra supplies, but because we built lamps, we put lamps there, and they're mushroom lamps because I have a small obsession with those.
I just love the mushrooms.
Yes, it's a theme in this house for sure. But we put some shelving on the wall that was petite and some artwork. So there's glasses, there's everything you need to mix up a cocktail, store your wine. So while it's not a built-in, it just gives you the vibe of a really cool bar.
Yeah.
So you can mix up a drink with friends, you could play pool, you could watch a great movie, and then of course every house has to have a really cool record player. We're a bit of a collector of vintage
You know
records.
what it reminds me of? It gives me that 40s modern art deco type of vibe.
You
know
think
what
so?
I think so. It has a fun little 40s. There's little tidbits of some 1900s with some modern flair into it.
Well, like you love vintage, so you're gonna always find the vintage.
Right.
And the
So-
records are vintage, and we keep them here for our guests, and we try to look at all different eras of music, and we have an eclectic, musical background with our family, and we play instruments. We always have a guitar at every property because I think it's important for people to come and be able to kind of challenge themselves or even, learn while they're here. And then we've had some amazing violinists here. We've had people who professionally play guitar. We've had a lot of people that are entertainers that have done some really incredible music right here and have been inspired by Lake Arrowhead.
And it's a cool part too, especially for Gen X, Pac-Man. Who doesn't love a Pac-Man?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Who doesn't love a Pac-Man?
That's true. So there is a real arcade game, but it's more than Pac-Man. You get Miss Pac-Man, you get Galaxia. There's all kinds of really cool, kind of 80s themed games that are there as well.
Tell me about the twin room. I know it was a little hot mess. Looked like the boiler room was down there.
It was the boiler room. All right, so the twin room, when I mentioned I was sick and couldn't get up here, so I really purchased the house just by looking at pictures. And when we got here and we went to the twin room, there's this huge closet and it's the HVAC unit. So you not only had the water heater there, but you also had the heater, a gas heater. So it smelled gassy, and I just thought,
it was loud.
Yeah, I thought if people are going to be in this room, especially children, one that needs to be removed. So that started the journey of relocating all the HVAC, and you're not going to relocate 60-year-old, units. So I got efficient air conditioner, which was new heater, new water heater, and took what was this buildup, and trust me, if you saw this buildup before, nothing but dirt, a god-awful smell in there. We cleaned that all up. We built a pony wall with brick and we put in the new system. We rerouted all of the HVAC. And then I said, well, let's do something really cool with this part of the house. This is a huge closet and we don't want to make it, there's already a closet in there. We don't want to make it another closet. So we did a built-in desk, snuggled in a television because every room should have a TV for bedrooms to give people options, and painted it black, put recessed lighting in there. And a friend of mine who happened to have some free time came up and stayed at the house for a couple of months and really helped with the renovations and put the desk in, we stained it. It was actually a butcher block for countertops. So we looked at a lot of creative art for that, so there's enough space for that. And then we renovated the bunk beds. The bunk beds were, oh my gosh, how do we even explain this? The bunk beds were these pads.
It gave me camp.
Sort of like old school
It was like
camp.
a camp, like, a campsite.
Yeah.
Like we're going to camp.
Yes, yes. And you want that vibe, but you want to bring it into today's time, right? So something that's modern. There were like pads in there. So we gutted out one side, because there was actually 4 bunk beds, gutted that out, put in a queen size bed, and then we have the 2 bunks, added the ladder, added some wallpaper, some new lighting. And then I think the most important thing to share is the whole entire house, the ceilings were all white. So that was a labor of love, and that was the first thing that I did, was to get the white off. So they had to sandblast the white, then they walnut blasted to give it this beautiful texture. And it really transformed, not only this room, but the twin room was completely transformed.
It just warms it up.
Yes, it's more natural, right? You want more of a natural vibe. I think white paint's great, but I don't love it always on a ceiling that has something this beautiful sitting underneath it. And I think as a result of having to move all of that stuff, we essentially ended up doing a laundry room. So the cleaning crew are really happy, guests are happy, and there's a beautiful washer and dryer, and we did some shelving in there, a little bit of artwork, because it wouldn't be a Deanna property if we didn't. So it really made a difference.
Well, I think it makes it very cohesive to the environment, how it's designed down there. And I feel like, I'm almost in a treehouse.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It does give me a treehouse vibe when I'm in it. So I think that's what makes it very cozy, very warm, that moody.
Cozy and warm.
Yeah, that moody vibe. And I think it's a fun place for kids.
Yes. So, our guests are generally families for the most part. We've had writers come here and write under, for a retreat. We've done some retreats where it's just health and wellness. And we've also had friends and family. We bring a lot of friends up, and we spend time on the lake. And I think the common thing that I've heard from everyone is that not only is it a beautiful space, and it's a great location, but the coziness, that warm vibe. And I think a lot of that, honestly, was a lot of prayer to say, what would people like? How do I make them comfortable? And just making sure that if it's representing Trinity, then it's representing some of our foundational things, which is, for people to come and have a great time and feel well.
Sometimes when I come here, I don't even want to leave. I just want to sleep.
Yeah, you do get a lot of
very
rest.
cozy. It's very warm. It's very inviting. And the mountain is just one of those places where you're just, you can relax.
Yeah. So we call it the front room. It's actually a full bedroom. When you first come into the house, there's a full bedroom, a full bath. This house is 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3 stories. And this bedroom was one that I wanted to be cozy, warm. You'll hear a lot from us.
Yeah.
But it also has a sliding glass door in front, so you can go outside very easily, sit on the front deck, which also has a beautiful view, and wave to neighbors, etc. But that room is really very much a part of the A-frame. So you have to be super creative around designing the space. So we wanted to have, cohesiveness throughout the house.
Yeah.
So it has a queen bed. I thought it was the perfect spot to do a backdrop of our wood panels, to give it a modern feel, but also to bring some artwork in. So Citizen Reid did a beautiful piece. And although it's, kind of expensive, I felt like it was the right thing to do for that bedroom, and it just opened it up. So
it's a beautiful piece of artwork.
Yeah, I know it's your favorite.
And it brings the room to life.
Yes.
It gives it more life and more like a bohemian.
Yes, it's definitely bohemian. I had you in mind as I was designing it.
It's great.
And of course, that's the room that you always choose when you come stay here. But what a lot of people don't know is that you were here in the 2023 blizzard. So LaVon is actually a blizzard survivor. So while I was down the mountain, she was here toughing it out, making sure the properties, both this house and my other house, were protected. And your car was buried. You couldn't even see your car.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, but at the same time, you got used to it.
Yeah.
And you found a way out. You did it. So
and you enjoyed the room.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Because I like to just get out and just open the door, get out, and it's almost like your own patio.
Yes.
It's like your own little patio. You could have your own little space and drink your coffee and go for a walk. It's nice. I loved it.
Yeah. I'm glad. Awesome. Well, I hope the rest of our guests love it as much as you do as well.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, this has been wonderful.
Thank you for the tour, and off to the next house.
Off to the next house. We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
A part of you, a frame with a star.